Hi everybody, Grandma Bev here from Life with Grandma Bev. And welcome to my channel. As you can tell from my intro, I do videos on all kinds of things. Anytime I go shopping anywhere, you get to see what I get. A lot of TMI, but I do beauty boxes, clothing, those clothing boxes like Stitch Fix and Dia and Company. I do travel videos, RVing videos. And lately I've actually read a few books, which it's hard for me to do because I can't see that well. But I've discovered that when I'm flying, I read. And, as those of you who follow me know, Bob and I went back east to go see my son and his family, and then down in the Pennsylvania area, then down to North Carolina to see his daughter and her family. So I had 2 long trips, flying from Seattle to Philadelphia, and then from North Carolina, from Charlotte to Seattle. I can read generally almost a whole book in that amount of time. Now we're getting ready to go on a long trip over to Europe in July, so I'm going to have to find a couple of books to read for those because I'll definitely have time to read. And I don't particularly like to go on my iPad and stuff as much when I'm on a plane. And generally, the movies they offer, you look actually in a lot of them now through your own iPad. Those were movies I've seen. So what did I read on my trip? I read 2 books. One going, one coming back. So let's get started on the one going. Now, I had started this before I left here, and I didn't get very far. And it's by Jennifer McMahon. It's called The Invited. And this is one that my daughter had recommended. Now, if you haven't checked out her Books Cause Insomnia site, please do, because, she tells you the truth and the scoop, and she reads a lot of books a month, let me tell you. So I rely on her videos to tell me which books are the ones to get. So I had gotten this one. And like I say, it's by Jennifer McMahon. And it's, how many pages? 399 pages. And let me tell you, I'll read what's on the back, and then see what I need to fill in with the notes I printed out. It says, in a quest for a simpler life, Helen and Nate have abandoned the comforts of suburbia to take up residence on 44 acres of rural land where they will begin the ultimate aspirational do-it-yourself project, building the house of their dreams. When they discover that this beautiful property has a dark and violent past, Helen, a former history teacher, becomes consumed by the local legend of Hattie Breckenridge, a woman who lived and died there a century ago. With her passion for artifacts, Helen finds special materials to incorporate into the house, like a beam from an old schoolhouse, bricks from a mill, old bricks from a mill, a mantle from an old farmhouse, already read the part. See how hard I have reading? Objects that draw her deeper into the story of Hattie and her descendants. 3 generations of Breckenridge women, each of whom died suspiciously. As the building project progresses, the house will become a place of menace and unfinished business, a new home, now haunted, that beckons its owners and their neighbors towards unimaginable danger. Now this book, once you get into it, man, you think you have it figured out. And you don't. You don't till you get to the end. Some of the things that happen, if you like books that are mysterious like this, but have a little bit of psychic, ring to it, or, a little bit of scary stuff thrown in. You'll like this one. Now let's see it. Let me look on the notes that I printed out and see what more they say. Okay, a little bit more about Hattie. Hattie Breckenridge was hanged there for practicing witchcraft. Her daughter Jane disappeared the same day and was never seen again. When Helen starts finding these artifacts that all have some connection to the Breckenridge family, she also, not coincidentally, begins to see their ghosts. See what I mean? Meanwhile, her husband spends more and more time chasing an elusive white deer. As Helen bonds with Olive, who's a local teenager, and neighbor, who has lost her mother, because her mother left one day, disappeared, never to be seen again. She realizes more and more that the ghosts are there with a message. So each time, she sees a ghost in the house that they're building, if she goes and stays in there, because she and her husband are living in this old trailer that was on the property. And as it starts coming along the house, she likes to sometimes go spend some evenings there. And when she does, she gets visitors. So, anyway, Hattie has good reason to want revenge on the town. And Helen, it looks like, is going to be her conduit. Let's see. The ghosts hardly constitute a presence. Constitute a presence once Olive's story. Now, Olive is the teenage gal who starts helping them. The story becomes the driving force of the plot. Of course, the ghosts are merely window dressing. In the end, it's us humans who are really scary. Who knew? Anyway, once I got into it, man, I couldn't put it down. So, what would I give it? I would give it 5 stars. I don't remember what my daughter Michelle gave it, but it's got 5 stars from me. And I like the cover. Now, the book I read on the way home, I didn't have, I was in an airport looking for a book. They didn't have much of a selection there, but I also didn't have Michelle video. I didn't have the way to look at her video to see what she'd recommend. And being there were so few books there, I just got what sounded good. And I picked up The Sanatorium by Sarah Pease. Pease, P-E-A-S-E. And this was part of Reese's book club. I'm assuming they mean Reese Witherspoon. So this one is 390, 2 pages long. So on the book it says, and it takes place in France. So some of the words I'm going to just totally pulverize trying to pronounce them. Here's another person, Parade magazine or whoever they are, said, I devoured this in one sitting. Yep. The newly renovated Hotel Les Sommets, a former sanatorium high in the Swiss Alps, has long been plagued by dark rumors. When Detective Ellen Warner's estranged brother Isaac and his fiancée Lori invite her to celebrate their engagement at the hotel, Ellen reluctantly accepts. Arriving in the midst of a threatening storm, Ellen immediately feels on edge. Now, Ellen is actually a cop, but she has been off for a long time, like almost a year. I guess she had something horrible happen on the job, and she had a lot of personal health issues she had to go through. So she hasn't returned to cophood yet. So when Lori, who was Ellen's friend from when she was a kid, who's engaged to Ellen's brother, vanishes, Ellen must trust her instincts if they hope to find her. When the snow cuts off all access to Les Sommets, the remaining guests start to panic. Then another woman disappears, and she's the only person who could have warned them of just how much danger they are all in. So this kind of gets Ellen, her natural instincts of being a policeman kind of come up, and the cops can't get up there because of the avalanches that are happening. The roads are cut off. They can't get up. So she's, by phone talking to a police chief in the next little town because this sanatorium is way up, and it had been a sanatorium supposedly for tuberculosis patients. So Ellen starts trying to figure out, she's taking pictures and everything for when the cops do come, she can give them info, or if she finds things, she calls them, and then they look up stuff for her. So she's kind of working with them. I tell you, this is another one that you think you've figured out who done it. And you don't until the end. And, I say every time I thought, okay, I bet it's so-and-so. But see, Ellen has been estranged from her brother, Isaac, for many years because they had another younger brother who died by drowning. And through all the years, Ellen suspected that her brother Isaac had something to do with it. So it's really a good book. You can see, that's pretty good size. It's 300-something pages, but, this is a bigger size paperback. Now, Michelle, I don't know if you've read this, but if you haven't, I suggest it. I want to find, Sarah Pease has another book coming out, but it's in May, but it's hardcover, and I don't like to take hardcover books traveling. So it's called The Retreat. So it's out. I saw it when I've been looking, to try to find a book to bring with me. Whew. So I want to find more of her books and more of Jennifer McMahon's, because she does have other books out. This might be her first one. I don't know, because I can't find any other things. I even looked it up online. Let's see. I did print out a paper. She's a Sunday Times and New York Times bestseller author, hailing from Devon, England. So that's another reason why I liked it, because it takes place, I love watching TV programs and movies from over there. Now, she lives in South Devon. I don't see anything indicating. This just more or less talks about, it's her debut book, written or published in February of 2021. So it comes out in paperback, the new one, before I'm going to go on my trip. So that'll do it. I'm going to put the link, down below there to my daughter's channel if you want to get some really good descriptions of books. She's very good at it. I'm just kind of because half the time after I read a book, I don't remember it. So comment below. Share. Share the books. Like, subscribe, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I love you all. Bye.